Hello. Good evening, everyone. This is your favorite weather girl, Kate Weatherwise, coming to you to give you the weekend forecast. I wanted to wait until after the Mariners and Toronto game finished to do this, and since the Mariners won, I feel confident that people are happy right now. So this weather forecast will be met with I don't know about glee is the right word, but will not be met with disdain because they're super happy about the Mariners win. If you're a Mariners fan, which I'm a Mariners fan, but not everybody is. So I'm just I'm just thankful. I'm just happy for that win. So that's good. But anyway, so this is Friday night, October 17th. It's 8 p.m. ish. It's 8:30 now. And let's just get right into it. We're going to talk about the weekend forecast and a little bit beyond the work week or into the work week to talk about some possible rain and atmospheric river situation coming at us. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is my favorite model, or one of my favorite models. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's the one that I like to go to give me a good visual of what the next 5 days are shaping up to possibly look like. Can I get more vague than that? I don't think so. Okay, so this is as of 10 o'clock tonight. It's pretty benign. There's not a lot of wind. The winds have settled down, died down a bunch. It was pretty windy earlier today. I did forecast that, and it did happen. It lasted for about 3 to 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours, and then it started to die off around 5:30, 5 to 6 tonight. And now the winds are calm. The skies are pretty clear, which means that the temperature is going to drop. And it's going to be in the low 30s for most areas, maybe even the high 20s for some people above 2,000 feet or so. So it's going to be a chilly night. And then tomorrow we're going to wake up and it's going to be pretty on the cloudy side. But it's not, the rain is not going to come into the picture until tomorrow evening, later in the evening after 8 p.m. And it's supposed to rain all night and give us 3 to 4 tenths of an inch of rain. Now, tomorrow's high, Saturday's high, is forecasted to be in the low 50s. And then tomorrow night, we are going to be in the low to mid 40s with that overcast and rain. So we don't have to worry about it maybe changing to snow. It's not going to change to snow for our area. Maybe closer to the Canadian border, you could see some snow, but not down here. Now, the rain is going to end sometime in the early morning hours on Sunday, which will end up being 8 o'clock-ish in the morning. And then we could see some sun on Saturday or Sunday afternoon. So that would be nice. And temperatures will rise back up into the low 50s again for our Sunday afternoon, which is nice. Now, another thing I'm forecasting for Sunday, are winds. The winds are going to pick up Sunday morning and be pretty gusty for a decent part of the day. I would say late morning to around noon on Sunday is when those winds could pick back up and then last until the late afternoon and gusting to 15 to 20 miles an hour in some places out of the south. It's going to flip around. The winds are going to start tomorrow and be very light and out of the southeast to southwest. Then they're going to flip around to the east on Sunday and give us those easterly winds that are going to be on the gustier side. So let's just advance this forward a bit to talk about what the models are saying. Here comes this rain into the picture that I was just talking about. There may be some snow in the northern mountains. Like I said, close to the Canadian border, really close to the Canadian border, for a little bit in Ferry County, a little bit in Stevens County, and then a little bit in Pend Oreille County, and then northern Idaho, Kootenai County, and those areas as well. So here we go. it looks like the darker the color, the shade, the heavier it's going to be. So there could be, I'm going to say this is Schweitzer Mountain is going to get a pretty good dose of snow overnight, Saturday into Sunday. So that'll be nice for them. But the rain continues down here for us, and over along, into Western Washington. So for sure, they're going to get some snow or some rain. Excuse me. So as we move forward, we're going to see the rain come to an end by 7, 8 o'clock Sunday morning, which will be nice. But then, like I said, later on in the morning, the winds pick up. So the winds are going to be, I'm going to go over here to the wind forecast. The winds are going to, you can see this system off the coast. And this red color correlates to 45 to 55 mile per hour winds. This first wave sort of dies out as it gets close to the coast, but the second wave is what brings the winds in for us. So this is saying the winds are going to be gusting to 29 miles, gusting. This is a wind gust model, not a sustained winds model. So gusting, this is south of Spokane to 29 miles an hour, and you can see it's not going to surge that far north into Stevens County. So I don't expect, if you go north out of Stevens County or out of the 9 mile area, out of this general region, then you're not gonna see the winds gusting very far north. So, but I definitely do not think we're gonna see these 29 mile per hour gusts here, generally speaking. That's overdone, in my opinion. This is saying again, 30 mile per hour winds. I'll bring this in a little bit closer so you can have a better look. I really don't think that's going to be the case here, but I do think the time frame is accurate. As you can see, the winds start to die down. This is at 8 p.m. On Sunday evening. The winds really die down. So we're going to have a good 6-7 hours of gusty winds on Sunday afternoon. So keep that in mind if you're out and about on Sunday afternoon, that it's going to be a little bit windy, but the rain will have subsided, so you won't have the rain to contend with. It'll just be the wind. Won't have the rain to contend with. It'll just be the wind. So as far as that's concerned, I will come in a little bit over here so you have a little bit closer view of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Western Montana. I have not talked a whole lot today, guys. I'm sorry. I have like a little tickle in my throat, and that's only because I haven't talked a ton today. And I was just screaming at the TV not that long ago, pacing around the living room. If you're a Mariners fan, you understand. Okay, so let's get back to this. Now, as we move forward, we're going into, this is Sunday morning. We start to dry out. There's not much in the way. Let's watch these winds pick up though. So we'll see. I'm going to go back in time. Sorry, I just got silent there for a minute. This is Saturday at 2 p.m. 5. This is a 3-hour increment model, by the way, so it moves forward every 3 hours. So Saturday night, here starts the rain, and then Sunday morning, and then you start to see the wind, the barbs are a little bit closer together through here. So that's a good indication that the winds are going to pick up. That's what I wanted to say. So then by 5 p.m., they start to subside a little bit. These lines start to relax a little bit, and the wind starts to die down. And by 2 o'clock in the morning, Sunday into Monday, everything's pretty calm as far as the winds are concerned. So that's good. But then as we go forward, we're going to go back over here to this GFS model. And then we're going to see what's coming down the pike further into the week. This is Tuesday time frame. Wednesday, here comes a system, but it sort of dies. It doesn't get over the mountains very well, so it dies over there in Western Washington. This next system, this is a pretty rigorous system. As you can see, these isobar lines are really tightly packed, so it's pretty windy out here in the ocean. Coming up on Thursday morning, and that's when the rain situation for us is going to start. And I'm thinking that starting on Thursday, we could have 4 to 5 days of rain, between 3/10 and a half inch of rain each day, which is a pretty good setup for an atmospheric river situation that I was just talking about at the beginning. So just keep an eye on that. Beginning of the week is going to be on the drier side, in the 50s to near 60 degrees for some of us. But then towards the end of the week is when the rain comes in. We're going to be still on the warm side in the 50s, and in the 40s for lows, but it's just going to be rainy off and on for this whole time frame, like one wave after another, which is what an atmospheric river tends to be like. But look at this system. This is a pretty good system that comes in here. This is Thursday at 8 p.m. and then it kind of dies out. But see the rain, and then as you see, a low forms off the coast and comes at us from the southwest. Now this is what's going to bring in some warm air from the south. When a low pressure system comes in from this angle, it brings up winds from the south. It's going to warm us up. And this is on Friday. And so the temperature on Friday, it's going to be a pretty warm day, but wet day on Friday. And then it's still pretty windy too. The isobars are pretty tightly packed. And then by Saturday, we may see it subside a little bit, have another chance for some rain. So this is over a week away, and I don't like to go that far out because things are always changing and most likely will change. But just know that we're looking at some pretty hefty rain amounts, on the daily. Light to moderate rain starting Thursday and stretching out for almost 5 days, but not all day rain, all day and all night rain. It'll come in waves, and then there'll be a lull, and then there'll be rain, and then there'll be a lull. So just get ready for that. This weekend, as I just noted, we are looking at chilly night tonight. Saturday, you wake up, it's going to be pretty overcast, but dry all day long. On the cooler side, in the low 50s, upper 40s, low 50s for most. And then by Saturday night, that's when the rain comes in. We'll get our first batch of rain overnight, so you won't see any rain during the daylight hours, which is nice. So if anything to do outside, any driving around or any errands to run, you shouldn't get wet when you do them. And then Sunday, we should see some sun. And so that'll be nice. That'll be a nice little change for Sunday. See some sun. And into Monday as well. Temperatures in the low to mid 50s on Sunday and Monday. And again, with the winds on Sunday. So Sunday afternoon, it'll help to dry things out from all the rain that falls on Saturday night. And there probably will be some fog, especially if you live close to the water. Not Sunday night, but maybe Monday morning, or probably Tuesday morning would be most likely. Tuesday morning, you could see some fog. Maybe even Wednesday morning. And it's getting to be that time of year where we're really losing daylight. We're coming closer and closer to daylight savings time ending, which will fall back and we'll lose an hour of time. I think that occurs on November 2nd. So that's coming up pretty quick. And then, by that point, the days are going to start getting so short, and sunrise will be at 7:45 and sunset will be at 4:00. But then we'll start the cycle all over again, and it will start getting more and more daylight, and it'll flip once again like it always does. So just know that through all of this, we'll start to gain daylight again here and what will seem like forever, but it'll be here like that. Anyway, okay, so that's the weekend forecast for the area. I'm going to start branching out and doing national forecasts as well. And I will eventually start doing lives where you all can come in and sit with me, not literally sit with me, but be on a chat with me, and we can talk about the weather, what's going on in the country. You can tell me where you are. We can talk about weather where you are. We can talk about, if there's anything severe weather-wise coming, any snowstorms coming, any ice storms coming, any windstorms coming, anything like that. That is my bread and butter. Forecasting is my bread and butter. So we'll start doing those things too. Right now, I'm focusing on the inland Northwest because that's where I live, and then we'll start to branch out. So then we'll just add more. We'll just add more in, and it'll just get more and more fun. So that's your forecast for the weekend, everyone. And then a little bit into next week. Remember, the rain starts Saturday night into Sunday, early Sunday morning, and then we'll have a lull and a dry and a little bit of sun, and then the rain starts up again on Thursday, lasting for 4 to 5 days off and on. So just get ready for that. It is late October almost, and that's just expected. All right, guys, that's it for now. That's your weather forecast, and this is Kate Weatherwise signing off. Have a good night and have a good weekend.